I'm Miss Susan from the Central City Muhlenberg County Public Library. I've got musical instruments today. You know when you're sitting around and you're rather bored? Well, you can make instruments at home. I don't know what kind of things you have at home, but you can make instruments out of almost anything. Did you know, just snapping your finger, that could get some beat going there? What about those of you that can whistle? Or clap your hands, stomp your feet, you can get a beat going? Well, how about if we make some instruments today with things you may have laying around at home? This right here makes a pretty good guitar. Hopefully you have a better rhythm than I do. But all this is I've got a couple of very thick plates and I stapled them together just so that when we put the rubber bands on, they don't bow too bad. You could use a paint stirrer, a ruler, something like that that's pretty sturdy. All you would need to do would be to tape it on the back. So if you took it, put some tape on the back, that'll give you the handle. If you wanted to, you could decorate this also. Like on the one I have already made, got little lines like pretending that that's where my chords would be coming from. So just sort of find the middle, tape it down with a couple pieces of tape, and you'll almost be ready to play. This right here, you can decorate with stickers, you can use markers, you can decorate any way you want to. Now all we need are the strings to make the sound. With the strings, we're going to use rubber bands, which tend to tangle sometimes. So if you put the rubber bands on there, there's 1, 2, and don't forget number 3, you will have your own little guitar that you can pick a noise, a sound it yourself and make your own music at home. That might resemble the little ukulele even. Obviously, I don't know how to play one. So how about a shaker? Would you like to make a shaker? This is one we have here at the library. The homemade ones could look something like this. I use lots of different kind of colored tapes. It makes a good sound. This one is a little fancier. This one has a little yarn hanging from it. And if you had to, you could shake, shake, shake and make your own music. All this is a couple of plates. And I recommend using tape. I've tried stapling, but they tend to go through the holes. So you would tape part of it across. You could use popcorn, you could use rice, you could use beans, you could use something that rattles like that. Tape the two together. When you get to the top, that's when you pour your beans, rice, popcorn, whatever in. You would tape them the rest of the way. I would recommend decorating them before you put them in because it'll be a little bit easier to decorate with just a plate before you actually put them together. When you get tape all the way around, like this one, then you can shake it and you'll have a sound similar to this. Depending on what you use, they sound a little bit differently. So if you wanted to use 2 different ones to make different noises, different sounds for your shakers, you could do that. I also have a rocker. And it's just spoons, an egg, and in this egg I have some little pieces of popcorn, just popcorn kernels like you would use at home to make your own popcorn. For this right here, I used some pretty tape and put the egg in between and then tape the 2 spoons together. It might be easier if you had 2 people helping, just so that you can hold the spoons and to tape. But you can tape using any kind of tape. If you have duct tape, if you have different kinds. This is washi tape. And then be sure and go around the top so the egg doesn't pop out when you're shaking. And you can get it a little bit straighter if you want to. Now you can have a different sound with this too. You could make a band from these. And here's one we have that we use sometimes at the library, and it's just a little shaker too. They have a different sound. This one's softer sounding. This one's a little bit louder. And it usually depends on what you use as to how loud it gets. Let's see. How about Jingle Bells? Everybody likes to hear Jingle Bells, right? You can make your own. How about a Jingle Bell stick? This, all I did was I took a craft stick and I chose what color I wanted it to be. How about a green one? And I'm going to start it just to give you an idea. All I did, now this is a permanent marker. If you use a washable marker, when your hands are on it, it will tend to come off. So try to make sure your parents know and that you're using a Sharpie. Sharpie, once it dries, it won't just come back off on your hand. So just go through and you would just color the whole stick. On mine, I colored both sides so it'd be nice and pretty. And once you get that colored, then all you need to do, you can take a piece of pipe cleaner and just wrap it around like this one. And as I wrapped one piece around, I went and got a bell. I've got little jingle bells here. The smaller the bell, the smaller the hole, the harder it is to use. So once you get it started, just feed your bell on there, all the way over to the end of the stick. You can space these out. I used 3 bells on mine. You might just have 2, you might have 4. You can put as many as you want, as small or as large. Put them on here. Once you get the first one, you can just wind around a little bit again and get another bell. And you can do that. And you can end up with a jingle bell like this. If you don't have a craft stick like this at home, what about if all you had is a pipe cleaner? You can also make a bracelet or a little handheld set of bells like this that can just go on your hand. And you can jingle that way too. So there's 2 different examples of how you can make your own jingle bells to use at home. You can do that. Let's see. Most people have some kind of container, maybe a coffee can, maybe some kind of, this right here is just hard cardboard like cylinder type too. So you can make a drum out of it. I've just got some little sticks here. You could take this and cover it with paper so that you wouldn't see what kind of can it was. It could be an oatmeal box, it doesn't matter. And then you would tape that on there. You could put stickers, you could use any of the markers, and you can make designs on this too. Find you a couple sticks. Now let me give you a hint. If you don't have any kind of cans like this, any kind of containers, you can always do what I used to do when my kids were young. You can make sure it's okay with your mom and get you a pan and a lid and maybe even a wooden spoon, and you can get out there and make your own drums, and you can even do the lids and make your own cymbals. Gets a little noisy, but it's really fun to do. And here's just some examples that you can use. You can come up with any kind of instrument you want at home. Just look around your house, see what you have sitting around and what you can either put together, tape together, and make a sound from it. That's all for today. Thanks for watching. Bye.